Join me as I try to tell the scariest camping story ever heard without getting too freaked out myself. There's something about camping stories that just gets under your skin, you know? Maybe it's the fact that you're stuck in the middle of nowhere with no way to escape, or maybe it's the creepy sounds of nature that play tricks on your mind. Whatever it is, camping stories have a way of evoking fear like no other. It was a beautiful summer evening, the kind that makes you feel alive and grateful to be outdoors. The sun was setting over the trees, casting a golden glow over our campsite. My friends and I had been planning this trip for months, and we were all excited to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life. We arrived at the campsite early, set up our tents, and spent the afternoon hiking and swimming in the nearby lake. As the evening wore on, we gathered around the campfire, roasting marshmallows and swapping stories. It was one of those perfect camping trips, the kind that you always remember fondly. But as the night drew in, and the darkness seemed to close in around us, we started to feel a sense of unease. At first, it was just a few strange noises in the distance, but as the hours ticked by, the sounds grew louder and more frequent. We tried to brush it off as the usual creaks and groans of the forest, but deep down, we knew something was off. The fire was burning low, casting eerie shadows on the trees around us. We huddled closer together, our eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. It was Alex who first noticed something was wrong. She was always the most sensitive to the supernatural, and she had a way of picking up on things that the rest of us missed. She grabbed my arm, her eyes wide with fear, and whispered, "Guys, I think we're not alone out here." At first, we thought she was just spooked, but as we turned to look at her, we saw it too, a figure, standing just beyond the edge of the campsite. As we watched, the figure began to move closer, its presence seeming to fill the entire forest. We were paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. The figure loomed over us, its face twisted into a grotesque grin. And then, in an instant, it was gone. The forest was silent once more, but we knew that our lives had been forever changed. The rest of the night was a blur of fear and adrenaline, but as the sun began to rise, we packed up our campsite and got out of there as fast as we could. We never spoke of that night again, but the memory of it has stayed with me to this day.